From 1 to 4 p.m.
.239 kena kwa rona mo DUMA FM mo talk more music the family show khotsa ka ibitsa gore la pologa ke gone go leng teng. We talking about grief and loss. Dumela Tshidi Wyllie.
Hello Lerapo, how are you?
Ke teng le kae?
Good to see you.
Go le baka
Yeah.
go le baka go le baka. A go le baka motho a kile a go bona. A re simolehela Wyllie hela gongwe re motho a ka batla go tlhaloganya gore phologolo e go teng grief hela sentle ke eng?
Kutlobotlhoko. Grief is simply our emotional and physical way of trying to cope with loss when we lose our loved ones. But it doesn't specifically focus only on the loss of a loved or family member.
Yeah.
Khutsafalo ya go latlhegelwa e taka metlha le harologaneng but gompieko ke eletsa gore re ka itebaganya hela le ga o tlhokagaletswe ga mongwe motho o mo ratang kana ke mmemmago kana ke rerago kana ke ngwana kana ke wa lesika hela a tlhokagetse. Many times it's difficult for people to talk about death, or even to explain to children about the concept of death. And then we avoid saying Tshidi o tlhokagetse, usule, or she's dead. We use certain words that make us feel comfortable say dealing with the loss. She died or she's dead. So complicated because there is no right way or wrong way of grieving because we are individuals. It differs from one person to another. It's a personal experience. The personalities, the relationship you had with the person that has passed on, that is dead. Was it your closest relative? Was it your mom? Was it your dad? Was it your sister? Was it your son? Your daughter? And the nature under which they died also plays a role in how we grieve. It's just a natural, normal way of coping or responding to a loss. How long one has to grieve differs from one person to another. Just because Thabiso it does not mean that he's not grieving. Because often we look at each other, we look at other people and we say, o papa letse hela gora ga utwa bothoko mme go sa nna yalo.
Ke maikutlo a feng a ileng gore re tle ra itemogele ga re tlhokafalwa kana go tsa gongwe ga re latolelwa. What are some of these emotions tse di tlang?
Usually the first instant the person hears the news, ke shock and denial. Go bogotsana le confusion go ipolela gore no Tshidi ene yone ke bua le ene maabane. How could she be dead? There is no way she could be dead. I was just talking to her yesterday. And then go na le bo enga ba ba tsenang go morago a ntse go tsweletse motho o telwa ke tshagalo gore but how could he, especially if it's your spouse, your girlfriend, your wife, and you are like, you left me, how could he just leave me like that? So there are a lot of emotions involved in there, such as body pressure, anxiety comes in, sometimes shame, emptiness. That emptiness, the sadness comes in as well, and despair. Especially if it was a sudden death. Say you leave here in the morning and then before the end of the day and then you hear and you are like, I was just with her. What happened? You first question you want to know is what happened. You want somebody to explain how did that happen. so that you can try and make sense of that. Me hela ga re grieve go tshwana kutlobotlhoko ya harologana ga re utlwele ka go tshwana. Say I lose my mom, or I lose my son, or I lose a friend. The way I will respond is going to be different. Go na le gore you respond physically, you respond behavior-wise, or you respond emotionally, or you could be responding spiritually in a sense where you now, if you are a person of faith, you start doubting God. When my son died, when my son committed suicide, don't tell me anything about God. Now you're getting angry towards God. That is another aspect, and you start kind of losing the faith you had in the power that is out there in God. And or it can be the opposite. Somebody who's similar, if she could die, just like that. Because I don't know what happens when somebody dies.
Pele ga re bua ka mefuta e farologaneng ya grief, ke batla gore gongwe o ka re if you maybe shed some light gore ke do ding tse leng gore kgotsa ke ditsela dife tse leng gore masika the family di gona gore gongwe e be di how do I put it gore e be go Tshidi kana ene go teng nka re ke ene motho wa ntla go swelwa go sa tlhaloganya go samagana le ka ha motho mongwe a ka dealing with leso ka teng ke di hiditsela tse leng gore gongwe masika ga ba thusi ka tsone in the healing process.
Ke mahoko a eleng gore a ka o sa tswa go ha dikai we tend to judge and pass shame and try to expect gore batho ba tshwantse ba grieve go tshwana. Ole wa idibala wa tenkana hale ko mabiteng ka gore wa tlallelanwa, and ba bang bone ba phapaletse hela ba siame, and then it looks like ba siame, but has gore ba siame, they are grieving, they have their way of coping with grief. Ole o idibala ngo tshalwa metsi o lanthata ke yone gantsi e leng gore ba masike ba ipotsa gore go re gantse hela le a netse go lela go na le ditiro tsa leso. Re tshwantse gore ka bora go rwalla dikgong ra gore wa bana. Meantime, as gore ke le Tshidi, as I'm saying that, it doesn't mean that I'm okay. I've just shifted from allowing myself to feel the grief or the emotions that are associated with grief. Ke focus thata mo ditiro tsa mo lesong tsa mo lapeng go go rang gore I'm in a way kind of avoiding to feel. It's avoidance because ke keepile busy hela. How is because I'm experiencing what we call delayed grief. Gongwe ke togota go sinka ino ko morago, then that's when after the funeral and everything start crumbling down. The emotions they start manifesting di tsupa. Me mo lesong ke ne ke phaphaletse hela e ka ga ke grieve. Gape go na le grief e leng gore hitiwa. How do I put it? We say somebody is disfranchised, or we say it's masked grief, where I will be asking you, Thabiso, are you okay? How are you dealing with? How are you coping? You want how I'm fine. When in actual fact you're not fine.
You're not.
Or because you are grieving your girlfriend, mono na le permanent girlfriend, na le small house. Kwa yano usi grieve secretly, you cannot be able to share with anybody and say, I actually lost this person. Chronic grief, it's prolonged. It doesn't seem to be ending, and the person is struggling really with the emotions associated with hotoka haleba.
A re bue ka mefuta ya grief. Go na le bo ke itse gore go na le gore gongwe o ka nna ntse o i-cancela hela o i-cancela o bona gore nya Thabiso sala bobola, Thabiso sala lwa la gore tota hela ke rena hela ke dibile mogala jana go emela kholo go tswa go sepetela go tinya gore tlogetse. So se o le gone, does it fall under gone go griefa?
a anticipatory or anticipated grief.
Yeah.
E diragala gantsi ele gore se ra woka and me wa lwala ga tsoga onkoko ga lwala wa tsoga and it's chronic and it's terminal illness. So as we are watching her and helping her through, anxiety, and it's like we are on edge, we are highly stressed because we can see it's like you are just waiting for a pin to drop. La mona gore motho ga tsoga and ga go tokagale. Gantsi go diragala thata mo balwetseng ba ileng gore ha re ba oka gong ba tshwere ka kankere, bolwetse ba kankere. Kankere is treatable, but then there are certain people ha e tshwarwa se ba le mo degree level 4 ya degree mo ileng gore wa bona setse e sentse go le gontsi mo mothong mo ileng gore really family re mo oka yana, we can really see gore this person is going. It's that we are anticipating the death to happen, and then who create that anxiety and those emotions. We can't relax. We are heightened. Anticipated grief.
Yeah.
It touches on masked grief,
Yeah.
where we are pretending to be okay. We are hiding the grief and the emotions related to that, but sometimes it shows up in our behavior. The way we behave says muto griever me etswa anare usiami. And then the grief, silent grief that I was talking about, these are some of the type of griefs that people experience or go through. Mehela bana ba griever differently.
Yeah.
With kids, they have difficulty expressing and explaining their emotions and how they really feel. Mainly, maybe it's because in most cases they don't understand the concept. Yeah. They need to be explained to understand. Mirsa camouflage we tend to tell them but does the child understand concept and then they tend to keep on wanting to ask questions and say mama yet you said mama has moved on. Those are the kind of words sometimes we use. Daddy has moved on, has passed on. What does that mean? Explain further. Depending on the age level ya ngwana, be age appropriate how mo tlhalosesa ka leso gore leso go tewa eng, how to motho o sule go tewa eng, ga re motho o thoka hetse ka ra tloga ra re o motho o thoka hetse re sa batla gore re feel gore ga re motho o sule o ka re na toto for the dead wa bona ra re motho o thoka hetse, they have passed on, we have lost so and so, instead of saying Tshidi is dead. So me explain that to bana o itse gore ngwana wa go grieve differently o ka go reetsa gone yana o utlwile gore okay mama is gone 1 2 3 o ile go tshameka kwa ngwana. You will not be staying here depending on gore ke ngwana wa age o le personality ya ngwana. Mehela bana ba thokagala le gore ba itsisiwe ba tlhalosetswe ba nne le closure, use their level to explain death to them and to explain that somebody has passed on, has moved on, is dead, and things like that.
Garetela yone le gape re boela moragonyana ya anticipated grief.
Yeah.
What happens ya no file gore I was anticipating gore motho o tla tsama go diragalang go morago ke bua do I now has an atlhokagala ka gore nentse ke solofetse a jaanong ke bua gape ke boela go kutlobotlhokong ele kana go diragalang.
You still grieve, you still feel hurt. And many a times, se diragalang gone ho ba bang ba simolola ba blame me, yet they did all they could through the nursing, through making sure gore o tsa melemo, o ya regular check-up, me go na le gore go nne go tsene denial itswa ba tswana ba na le we ya gore re mo kile re itlhobogetse through go oka and you think, okay, it will become easier to accept the funeral, but it still becomes difficult for them because the element there, guilty more thing of self-blame. I could have done this, we could have done that, we could have changed this and that, we could have had them to specialists or whatever, and yet sometimes you had gone to all the specialists you could think of, and now you are left with what you call complicated grief. It complicated again when the prolonged and long-lasting, taking longer than usual like that, though grief by 6 months or so recovery. Sometimes the person who's living jalo which were incurred through medical expenses. During anticipated grief, Tshidi, because I'm chronic and I'm terminal and I've been told that I get so ke nna ke ra bana ke re senane sa hale ing sa hale ke a kwala le ke a kwala ke ira Wyllie ha ile gore ke ira Wyllie e ka re ke a ipakanyetsa gore ke kgona go bona gore ga kana ga go nga ka gore tsare you are only left with 2 months wa bana ke go tsenya mo anticipated grief e leng gore you walk on edge expecting it to happen go gorang gore me anong simolla go planela gore ga ka didimala I got a lot of create anxiety happen in the sense that go le ha mo thokometse yana o moka o reng go bosigo o nna o batla go checka gore is she still there, is he still alive, is he still breathing o bona gore ke grief go mo go ro se tso griefa motho mme a santsane a tshela le ha o mo kile bothoko bontse ba go nna teng.
Family, what role does it play in the grieving process? Le gone go fola ke he tshegetso e leng gore as a family re ka e hana
is to be there. It's just simply to be there for each other. Sometimes it's not even necessary to talk. Just your presence being there is enough support for some people. Until such a time that the other person wants to open up to tell their story, to say how they are feeling about this loss, because those are some of the things that happen. Some lose appetite, some can't sleep, they have problems sleeping, or they sleep too much, and then it affects their health, their nutrition, and everything about them. Just being there as a family for each other. Sometimes like isolating myself, make an effort to try and check on me and say, Tshidi, how are you doing today? How are you coping today? How is it going today? Last year, when are you going to get over it? Because on daily basis, there are a lot of things that are going to trigger them. Birthdays, holidays like this ones, Christmas, if you lost your loved ones last year around this time, when this season approach, you start like grieving all over again. That pain kind of like comes back. There are things like that that will trigger the grief, as if about 20 steps forwards, now you are taking about 50 steps backwards. Talk about what you are experiencing when you are ready. Don't let anybody or allow anybody to force you or to push you to move on. There is this thing that we say somebody must move on. You never ever really move on with grief. You go through it and you move forward where grief is concerned. It's like people just get tired already and say, get over it already. You mean since last year? I've seen articles in one of the celebrities about South Africa, originally people on social media are taking her for still being there, grieving her husband whom she lost. And those are some of the things we do due to social media. We become very unfair to others.
Yeah.
We want to accelerate and grieve ya bone aka get re mo ditlhakong tsa bone. Botlhoko ba ikutlwela. And then ga re tshwane. When you lost your cousin, you seem to be coping okay, or maybe you even went to therapy, you went for counseling, or maybe you went to grief support groups, and therefore you are functioning already, you are able to function well. Somebody lost the same person, and for them, the closeness and the relationship they had with that particular person was different from the relationship, the way you were relating with the person. They're bound to be having difficulty coping and dealing with it.
Yeah. Ke motsotso pele ga nako ya boraro re tla bo re tsweledisa puisano yena maybe le lwena ke ya go laletsa mo 35001313 35001331 gore ga ona le potso ga ona le kakgelo o ka nna karolo ya thulaganyo ena go tsa o ka romela molaetsa mo 76281885 ga re bua re tla bo re bua about the grieving process, the stages tse leng gore di teng ke utlwile kgantele mabaile o bile one gore go na le gore go ka nna le that shock gore motho ke letse kana le ene mmebile ke go utlwa sentle go ntsha gore motho o tsamaile re tla re ga re bua e be re tsweledisa puisano ena re lebella other stages tse leng gore di teng tsa the grieving process.